Global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to Global Happenings Today YouTube channel. Nigerians have been reacting very strongly. Obedients have been wondering what is going on, despite what we are letting the world know about the INEC presidential elect. I'm talking about Bola Tinubu. Why is a prominent newspaper known as Time Magazine decided to do this thing by making Bola Tinubu among the 100 most top influential persons in the world, actually? And it didn't stop there. But one wonders why APC supporters, why Bola Tinubu sympathizers have not really gone in depth on that write-up. In fact, I feel that we should not judge a book by its cover. Take your time, read it, and see what it entails. I'm going to give you a set of the same magazine that was written, okay? Same magazine that was written, okay, in the same Time magazine, while the APC supporters are running with yes, Bola Tinubu have made the 100 most influential person, yes, it clearly shows that the world have moved on, babe, and all that. Let's find out some of the inner write-ups in that Time magazine that still talks about Bola Tinubu. I wonder why APC supporters didn't see this write-up. But before we go into the news proper, kindly subscribe to our channel by clicking on the red subscribe button beside it. You see bell notification icon. Please go ahead, click on it to get notified as soon as you update our channel on YouTube. This is inside the write-up of that same Time magazine. I said, but Tinubu's win with the ruling up after the normal write-up, I'm picking from the inner parts that probably the supporters didn't say. He said, look, but Tinubu's win with the ruling All Progressive Congress Party came in a fourth election and by a slim margin over Atiku Abubakar and Peter Obi. It was the first time Nigerian voters contended with a third party candidate, and many discontented young Nigerians yearning for change pinned their hopes on Obi. Marred by allegations of intimidation and vote rigging, the outcome of the ballot is being challenged in court. Tinubu now faces a litany of crises in a fractured nation, including a deep-rooted corruption, religious insurgencies, and shortages of cash, fuel, and power in crumbling economy. But the president lets him aware of his inheritance. Now, this is another thing they said in that same Time magazine that is not only worrisome, but clearly shows that in all of this, they also know what they're doing. He said it is inescapable fact of life that the bad, the evil, and the notorious often have a great influence on world affairs. And Time's annual Man of the Year selection is simply an acknowledgement of the person they perceive to have been that year's most influential individual. Whatever the nature of that influence is, some of Time's previous Man of the Year selections, such as Adolf Hitler, Joseph Stalin, and Ayatollah Khomeini, or even Mrs. Wallace Warfield Simpson, were not intended to heap laudatory praises upon those persons, but to simply recognize their profound effect upon world history. So, by the standards, Time has employed for more than 70 years Osama bin Laden and so on and so forth. So, please, that he is recognized as one of the 100 most influential persons is also therein written. That is not really to give him praises over whatever thing he has been doing. It's just to show he may not be a very fine person, he may not be a very good person, his influence may not be what you think, but one thing is certain, he does have influence. We cannot take that away from Bola Tinubu. The people he has put, he has a lot of protege, even in Aso Rock. Bola Tinubu's proteges are in Aso Rock. You could conveniently call Bola Tinubu a kingmaker, you'll not be wrong. I'm just being very objective. Regardless of his crimes he has committed in United States and all that, alleged crimes anyway, in United States and all that, you can't take away the fact that he's a man of influence. You see old men dancing to his tune. The likes of even Professor Wole Soyinka, despite his immaculate, despite his pedigree, you still see him dancing towards supporting Bola Tinubu. You cannot take away Femi Bajabamela. No matter what you want to say, he will tell you that Bola Tinubu is the man of the people. These are people he has raised one way or the other. Was it not shocking when we heard Nwankwo Kanu also give his endorsement? Give his endorsement. Talibo West gave endorsement. This Nollywood Zach Koji gave his endorsement to Bola Tinubu. And if you meet them one on one, they will tell you Bola Tinubu have touched their life one way or the other. Which means one way or the other they have had the touch of Bola Tinubu. Good person, bad person notwithstanding, whatever the way he got his money, nobody cared to know, but all they know that at some time he did saraka to them. If you go to Lagos State, of course, Sanwo-Olu is his prodigy. You can't take that away from him. Most people who became governors after him were actually people he endorsed for them to enter. But you can't take that away from him. That makes him an influential person. And Time Magazine is making it very clear. We are not saying that we are lauding whatever it is, evil or bad. We are only saying he's influential. We cannot take it away from him. Now, if you look at what is happening, you see the likes of this man in Lagos. I'm talking about MC Olomo. He can put his life on the line for Bola Tinubu. Why? Because they have benefited one way or the other. He has probably changed their life one way or the other. They may not deny what he has done in the time past, but he has touched me. So he has influence of some sort. Now, the question is, because of the level of influence he has have individualistically on humans, on those in the corridor of power, those he has, so to speak, voted into power, he will now tell you, this is your time now to pay me back. I don't want your money. I don't need your money. Eat whatever money you have made, but I just want your endorsement. That's exactly what is playing out here. It's not as if, but the question now is, are they looking at the individualistic gain over the overall gain of the country, of the nation? That is what we are talking about. And whether you like him or you hate him, it does not take away the fact that he's a man of influence. And that's exactly what we're looking at. But it's just that Nigerians are angry and that, well, why should they make it? Well, in Nigeria politics today, Bola Tinubu, is it not a little wonder that despite the fact that he had such a clause in his past, they still cleared him? Despite the fact that till now there's still been a lot of doubts over some of the from information he fixed in during his registration about his age, where he was born and all that, they still put him in. APC did not even want to know if they will lose or win. All they know that Bola Tinubu is an influential person. Let him go in anyhow. Young men resign and give their vote back to Bola Tinubu so that he will become the presidential flag bearer of APC. Godswill Akpabio, the likes of AME, and all those who picked the presidential form. All of them tendered it just for Bola Tinubu. That's to tell you the level of influence, one way or the other, that the public may not know. He must have stepped in for them. So yes, he could be a man of influence. You can't take that away from him. The question is, what influence does he exude? That's what we're going to wrap it up. Let's listen to our conversation. What's your take?